Right now on Denver 7 News at 6 a.m., it's Election Day across Colorado, and today you'll decide who's on the November ballot.
I'm Denver 7's Veronica Acosta. Polls open up just 1 hour from now. What you need to know to make sure your vote counts.
Companies double down on diversity in the workplace, but those trainings you go through aren't as effective as you might think.
If you live in Denver, get ready to pay another monthly bill. How much you'll have to pay the next time you take out your trash.
After 21 years, the Stanley Cup is back in Colorado.
We're expecting literally hundreds of thousands of Avs fans to descend upon downtown.
How local businesses are getting ready for you to attend Thursday's parade.
And a special Stanley Cup champions brew with a secret ingredient.
Yeah, how you can drink some of the ice those championship Avs skated on. That's still to come. Good morning, everybody. I'm Jason Grenauer.
And I'm Jessica Crawford. Temperatures are heating up across the Front Range today. Meteorologist Lisa Hidalgo joins us now with your Denver 7 forecast.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty nice summer-like day, coming off of a cool and cloudy weekend to more heat. Now, we are under an ozone action day alert today when we get some of these sunny, hot days like this, some pretty high concentrations of ground level ozone. So it's going to be a little unhealthy for some of the sensitive groups today. Hot and dry statewide. We will see more thunderstorms by Thursday, but for the next couple of days, it'll be drier here across the metro area. Low 60s right now. Beautiful sunny start to our Tuesday. Winds coming in out of the south at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. We're going to get well into the upper 80s here by noon. We're hit highs right around 90 to about 95 in Denver. Upper 80s, low 90s down near Castle Rock and Parker. More 70s and 80s for the foothills and mountains. So summer-like conditions return, nice and warm. We're above normal. It'll be hot again tomorrow, and then things will start to cool down toward the end of the week. We're tracking another cold front. I'll show you how that impacts the Super 7 Day coming up.
And we have a great sunrise going on for us. Should slow us down a little bit on some of these eastbound routes, but for the most part, a gorgeous looking drive for you here this morning. We do have one crash coming in. It's going to be really affecting the folks that are on the westbound side of 104th here at Tower Road, and also some southbound slowing too. Not worth an alternate route right now, but you will see some slight delays there. The rest of the heavy traffic, as you can see from the camera here on 270, past the refinery, getting over to Vasquez, very typical slowing for us on that drive to I-70. You could always use I-25 if you want to see, look at the drive times going into I-70 and then going across I-70. That's wide open for you here this morning. So about the same amount of time either way. But the rest of the drive looks just fine anywhere you want to go right now.
We're following breaking news overnight after Arvada officers shot a person. This happened near the Wadsworth bypass and 62nd Avenue. No officers were hurt, but the suspect is in the hospital. Police haven't said what the suspect's condition is. It's the latest shooting in a violent 24 hours. We mapped out 5 different shootings in Denver and Aurora. Each of the Denver shootings, one person was injured. In Aurora, 3 people were shot in a park. All of those victims are expected to survive. No word of arrests.
The public health impact of gun violence is the focus of a conference today featuring experts from CU. Denver 7's Christian Lopez is live with what they'll discuss.
Uvalde, Buffalo, and since then we have had several more mass shootings. Just this past weekend, we saw 10 mass shootings nationwide that left more than 50 people killed or injured. And just like everyone else, faculty at CU Boulder is heartbroken and angered by all of the violence. So they are coming together for a webinar this afternoon, and they will have faculty experts from several different fields of study from CU Boulder and CU Anschutz medical campuses. These are experts in child psychology, emergency treatment, faculty from the Center of Study of Violence and Prevention, as well as the Institute on Health and Wellness. So they'll all be sharing their research and findings to help the community understand the mental health impacts that can lead to gun violence, as well as ways to prevent it. CU Boulder's Chancellor Phil DeStefano told me that years ago, after the Columbine shooting, the director for the university's Center for the Study and Prevention of Violence visited every high school in Colorado to talk about gun violence prevention and help campuses adopt the best practices. And he says the goal with this webinar is education.
I believe we have a responsibility to share research in areas of gun violence, safety, mental health, and wellness with members of our community, whether they're in Colorado or across the country, across the world. Secondly, this is not a debate, and this is a way of the university using those research findings, what we're known for as a major research university in getting information out to the public, because gun violence, as you know, has really impacted all of us, especially the last couple of years.
And this webinar is open to anyone. It'll start at 5 o'clock this afternoon, and you can find a link on the university's website. They'll also have a question and answer segment as well. Live this morning, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Christian, thank you. In just less than an hour, polling locations will open across Colorado. It's primary day. Denver 7's Veronica Acosta is outside one of the sites at the Wellington Webb building in downtown Denver with what you need to know before you cast your vote.
Well, today is your last chance to get that vote in if you haven't already, and if that is you, then here's what you need to know going forward. First off, you will have 12 hours today to be able to get that vote in. Some of these polling locations, they open up at 7 this morning, and as long as you're in line by 7 this evening, you will be able to get your vote in. So if you're not registered to vote in Colorado, you can register today as well, and then go ahead and cast your vote today too. There are some major races on that ballot. We're talking about everything from U.S. Senate to Congress to some of those state seats as well. One of the big questions on the ballot, though, is who's going to take on Governor Jared Polis come November. Republicans Heidi Ganahl and Greg Lopez, they're both vying for that spot. Denver 7 did speak with both of them this month. Listen to what they said would be their priorities should they get to take on the governor and then potentially that big job.
What I hear around the state is folks are really upset and frustrated about government overreach, whether it's taxes, fees, regulations, moving industries out of Colorado like the energy industry. We need to make sure that we trust the people of Colorado to make good decisions for themselves and their businesses, their families, their kids, first and foremost. And that's what I call the Colorado way of life. I think that's my first priority.
Crime is really a big issue here in the state of Colorado because it impacts families. It impacts our quality of life. And so we need to make sure that we give back qualified immunity to the police officers, that we figure out a way where we can be tough on crime once again, because I think that's really what's tearing apart our community fabric.
To find your closest polling location, all you have to do is look up your county election supervisor, and then that should be listed on that website. If you're in Denver, all you have to do is go to denvergov.org. In Denver, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Veronica, thank you. We'll have special election coverage throughout the day with a look at several other races in our next half hour. Look for results tonight on air and streaming over on Denver 7 Plus.
Man, seeing that really never gets old, and I bet you that he never gets tired of doing just that. Gabe Landeskog lifting the Stanley Cup there as the Avs get off the plane and they return to Denver as champions yesterday. This is really such a dream come true for the players and so many fans. And Thursday, the Avs will be giving Lord Stanley's Cup a tour around town during their victory parade. The parade starts at 10, but fans are encouraged to arrive a whole lot earlier. It starts at Union Station and ends at Civic Center Park with big celebration and speeches. The team and the Stanley Cup will wind down 17th Street and Broadway. The city is expecting hundreds of thousands of people to pack downtown on Thursday. That means there's going to be a whole lot of foot traffic for businesses along this route, even though the parade won't have to stop with those red lights. We spoke with the owner of Tea with Tay on the 16th Street Mall.
It's helping bring people back downtown, especially having such a huge win in the sports community. It just helps build the whole downtown community.
That business is one of a handful of pop-ups that the city hopes to make permanent to revitalize the 16th Street Mall. And of course, Denver 7 is your home for the Stanley Cup Parade. We are partnering with Altitude Sports for the most comprehensive coverage of that parade. Our pre-parade coverage starts at 4:30 a.m. Our parade show will start at 9:30.
It's going to be awesome. Now at 6:10, I'll have your full forecast here as we get a little closer to the parade coming up. But let's get you out the door on this Tuesday morning. Right now we're in the 50s, even 60s. It is going to be a warmer day today. Highs are going to be right around 90 to about 95. Plenty of sunshine out there this morning. It's a bright eastbound drive, and we aren't expecting any storms, Jason, this afternoon.
And looking good up here in Arvada along Wadsworth at 64th, right by George's Cafe. If you heard about that shooting around 61st or so, it's not impacting the drive at all. You can see it's wide open for us here at 64th. Lots of sun glare to deal with here if you're going to heading eastbound on any of those routes. So do be prepared for maybe a couple extra minutes and have those sunglasses handy.
Colorado's beauty is bringing in big bucks. The impacts of national parks on our economy.
Plus, canines doing cannonballs.
Go, go, go. Good girl.
Colorado couple helping pet owners get through the dog days of summer.